Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Dangerous storms right now. Hail the size of softball shattered car windows in Oklahoma. Ginger is tracking where we could see more tornadoes and who's at risk of flash flooding.
But we're going to begin with our exclusive interview with Ukraine's President Zelenskyy. Our foreign correspondent James Longman spoke with the president inside a hospital on the dire situation his soldiers are facing. Good morning to you, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. Missile strikes hit Kharkiv almost every day. It had been successfully defended. Life had been slowly coming back to normal, but now Russian troops are bearing down on this city, and it's amid that danger that President Zelenskyy visited. Yes, to spread morale, but also to sound the alarm. This morning, President Zelenskyy speaks exclusively to ABC News in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city. More than 1 million people now directly threatened by Russia's advance. The situation is so serious, he had to cancel a foreign trip to rush here, despite the danger. We join him as he visits some of the men injured in a desperate effort to protect the city, awarding them medals of valor. It's an indication of just how serious the situation is that President Zelenskyy has had to cancel his foreign trips, come here to Kharkiv and meet the men who are fighting to defend this city. He's been the backbone of this war effort, and it means a lot to them.
During these days, 500 persons have been wounded. Yes, a lot of guys gave their lives. They're soldiers, but mostly they are from this region. They've been born here. And for me, it's very important to support them, to come and to say that we recognize their bravery. Not too much in the world people who are ready to give their life for the life of others. It's very normal that the president has to be with the soldiers.
How serious is the situation right now?
It's difficult, it's serious, so brigades are not totally equipped because of the package which we waited through 8 months.
Is what's happening now in Kharkiv, is this America's fault?
It's the fault of the world that the world gave possibility to Putin to occupy other country, and I think so. But now the world can help.
Do you feel that Secretary Blinken's visit went well? Did you get what you wanted? The president repeats his thanks to the United States for aid, but there's a sense of frustration about its delay, and specifically the air defenses needed to keep Kharkiv safe.
Really, if we are speaking about this region, Russia can't occupy this if, for example, 2 Patriots will stay in this region, just 2 systems.
And you're frustrated that you make these requests and there's the words, but you don't feel that they're the actions, maybe?
Now it's looking like more that very important dialogue. But I'm raising up the question about 2 Patriots for Kharkiv. Really, between us, I'm raising up more than 1 year.
It's clear from talking to the soldiers just how intense the fighting has become. I'm honored to receive this medal, says Maxim, who nearly died in Vovoshansk just yesterday. But it should go to my comrades who saved my life. As President Zelenskyy tries to get help for his country, Vladimir Putin has arrived in China to shore up support for his war effort. This is truly a conflict of global consequences, and it will be an issue come November. George?
No question about that. We're going to the race for the White House now. President Biden and former President Trump have agreed to hold 2 debates. They're not going to be traditional debates. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce in Washington with the details. Good morning, Mary.
Hey, George, good morning. Well, we knew that this election was going to be anything but ordinary, and now President Biden and Donald Trump are shaking up the debates. Look, they won't even be their party's official nominees when they take the stage next month in Atlanta, the earliest general election showdown in history. This morning, the dates are set.
Make my day, pal.
President Biden and Donald Trump upending the traditional presidential debates, agreeing to 2 one-on-one face-offs. Their first, June 27th on CNN, before the conventions. The second, September 10th here on ABC News, just weeks before voters head to the polls on Election Day. For months, Trump has been taunting Biden.
We have an empty podium right here to my right. You know what that is? That's for Joe Biden. I'm trying to get him to debate.
But it was the president who challenged Trump in a surprise announcement Wednesday, even mocking Trump's criminal trial in New York, referencing the 1 day a week he's not in court.
So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
Trump immediately accepting, writing, "Let's get ready to rumble."
No, sure, I'd love to debate. I want to debate. And then you can't make a deal with the guy. Let's see if he shows up to a debate.
The two campaigns bucking the Nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates, which has organized general election debates since 1988, including their last go-rounds.
I'm not going to answer the question.
Why would you answer that
because
question?
the question is
radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen.
But the Biden campaign arguing the commission's debates have become an entertainment spectacle. The commission, they say, unable to enforce their own rules. Instead, the campaign's opting to square off in a studio with no live audience. Just the two of them, face to face.
Now, the stakes here are massive, and the campaigns know it, but both men are confident and adamant that they can outperform the other. Trump adamant that Biden will falter. Biden is eager to give voters a jolt and showcase the stark differences between them, and preparations here are already underway. I'm told the president is bringing back his former chief of staff, Ron Klain, to help lead his debate prep. Michael.
All right, Mary says the stakes are big. Thank you for that. Now to Donald Trump's criminal trial. His former fixer, Michael Cohen, is set to return to the stand this morning for a second day of cross-examination. Aaron Katersky is at the courthouse. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Michael. The trial is going to pick up a short while from now, and so far the cross-examination of Michael Cohen has focused on Michael Cohen, his obsession with Donald Trump, his desire to see him convicted, and how he made money from bad-mouthing Trump. The defense asked nothing about the most damaging testimony that Cohen delivered, namely that he linked Trump to the alleged scheme to hide from voters an adult film star's claim of a sexual tryst. Cohen testified Trump knew about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels and approved a plan to pay back Cohen, who had fronted the money. Cohen said he sent monthly invoices for services rendered, but he told the jury he performed no services. The checks Trump signed, he said, were the reimbursement to me of the hush money meant to silence Daniels before the 2016 election. The defense cast Cohen as a spurned underling out for revenge whose testimony cannot be trusted. Robin defense attorney Todd Blanche said he expects the cross-examination of Cohen to last all day. Robin?
We will see what happens today. All right, Aaron, thank you. We're going to turn now to the dozens arrested on a California college campus at UC Irvine overnight as law enforcement cleared out a pro-Palestinian encampment. Morgan Norwood is here with the latest for us. Good morning to you, Morgan.
Good morning to you, Robin. Yes, tensions had been building for days leading up to this. And overnight, the university's president authorizing police to go in and take down an encampment. We've got dozens of officers in riot gear making a number of arrests overnight. Let's take you there. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators, they started rallying at the school's science lecture hall yesterday afternoon, putting up tents and building these massive encampments, much like the ones that we've seen at college campuses across the country. Now, the group demanding that the university divest from Israel over the war in Gaza. Their encampment blocking entry to the building, tents serving as barricades. In a statement, the university's president saying that he's brokenhearted that it had to come to this, saying the group had several warnings and wanted to allow the group to have a peaceful encampment. Classes, though, are now remote for the day, and employees are being urged to work from home as well. Michael?
All right, Morgan, thank you for that. Now to the temporary pier in Gaza, receiving its first shipment of humanitarian aid. Matt Gutman is in Israel for us with the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Michael. This has been in the works for months now. It has cost hundreds of millions of dollars. About 1,000 U.S. military personnel involved. U.S. officials say that they have not allowed any U.S. troops to enter. They have anchored that pier just off the coast of Gaza. And the general concept is to allow a significant amount of aid to be delivered directly into Gaza. And there are already 2 inbound ships carrying aid. But the choreography here is incredibly complex. It obviously involves the U.S. military, but also the Israeli military, which will handle logistics and security, the UN, which will receive the aid, and Palestinian subcontractors who will then distribute the aid. The U.S. says the pier could be operational in the next couple of days, but UN officials tell me they still haven't managed to hammer out the agreements here, and security remains an issue. You may be able to see those columns of smoke behind me. That's where Israel has re-entered areas it had cleared months ago, where Hamas has managed to regroup, and this is happening across Gaza. George.
Okay, man, thanks for sharing that. A Super Bowl champion Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker getting some backlash after his commencement speech at a Catholic university for comments he made about gay rights, abortion, and the role of women in society. Stephanie Ramos has the story. Good morning, Stephanie.
George, good morning. Super Bowl champion Harrison Butker delivered his roughly 20-minute address at the Catholic Private Liberal Arts School in Atchison, Kansas. That's near Kansas City. He hit on a number of topics, including the roles of men and women to the COVID response and President Biden's policies.
He kicked the longest field goal in Super Bowl history to lead the Kansas City Chiefs to victory over the 49ers.
That is now 9 consecutive makes from outside 50 for Butker.
But this morning, Harrison Butker is making headlines for his remarks off the field. During a commencement address at Benedictine College, a conservative Catholic liberal arts school in Kansas.
It is safe to say that over the past few years, I've gained quite the reputation for speaking my mind.
Butker sounding off about working women.
I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
Butker then referring to Pride Month, which celebrates the LGBTQ community as a deadly sin.
Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it, but the true God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify Him.
I couldn't believe it was such an outdated, antiquated view on LGBTQ people and women, and using religion in a way.
Butker also mentioning priests who become too familiar with parishioners, illustrating his point by borrowing a line from a song written by a certain famous teammate's girlfriend.
Because as my teammate's girlfriend says, familiarity breeds contempt.
That line from Taylor Swift's Bejeweled quickly drawing the ire of Swifties. One writing, "I didn't think you grasped the message of the Taylor Swift song you quoted. Go listen to all her albums as homework." The NFL reacting to the speech, saying Harrison Butker gave a speech in his personal capacity. His views are not those of the NFL as an organization. The NFL is steadfast in our commitment to inclusion, which only makes our league stronger.
There were apparently some mixed reviews in the crowd, but guys, in the end, Butker did receive a standing ovation from the graduates, from many graduates, and some of those attendees there.
Yeah, usually the commencement address is about the graduates, not about your personal views in that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's important to remember also that the school did invite him, and he's made his Catholic conservative views very well known. But you're right. It's uplifting, right? An uplifting speech? I don't know.
I know. But as you said, he got a standing ovation after that.
Right.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. We have a dramatic dash cam video showing the moment a semi-truck crashed out of control and was left dangling off a bridge in Louisville. Alex Perez has that story for us. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. This is one of those videos that just makes your heart race. Now, that semi-truck driver was just crossing the bridge when suddenly she and the truck almost ended up in the river.
This morning, our first inside look at the harrowing and heart-stopping moments that led to this semi-truck precariously dangling on this bridge over the Ohio River in Louisville, with the terrified driver still inside the cab.
2 trucks just got into an accident, and a semi-tractor trailer is hanging over the bridge. We need people right now.
Cameras from multiple angles capturing the moment the driver of this pickup, 33-year-old Trevor Branham, swerved to avoid a stalled car, slamming into the semi-truck driven by 26-year-old Sydney Thomas. She's left hanging nearly 100 feet above the river. You can hear the horror in her screams. More than 40 Louisville firefighters working for nearly an hour. Finally, with precision and focus, those teams able to rescue the semi-truck driver.
She was thanking, thank God. That's what she kept saying, thank God.
The dramatic videos now evidence presented in court Wednesday in the case against that pickup driver who's been charged with 4 counts of wanton endangerment and a count of operating a motor vehicle with a suspended license. He has not yet entered a plea. In a statement, his attorney telling ABC News in part, Mr. Branham feels terrible for the truck driver and the trauma she suffered during those harrowing moments, and sincerely thanks the brave individuals who risked their lives to save her.
And that semi-truck driver was thankfully not injured. A grand jury is set to hear the case against the pickup truck driver next month. Guys?
Oh, I'm glad she's okay. That's scary. All right, thank you so much for that. And coming up, we have my exclusive with actress Olivia Munn on her cancer fight and the risk she took to grow her family.
Plus, the family coming face-to-face with a cougar in their backyard.
Oh, my, and how Uber is looking to shake up shuttles. But first, good morning, Ginger.
Good morning to you, Robin. Everybody, parts of Texas and Louisiana are preparing for
threatening flash flooding later today. So here's the deal. There's an area from Dallas, who's at their third wettest year to date already, to Houston, Alexandria, even Jackson, Mississippi, under flood watch. But it is the piney woods of Texas and Louisiana where we're really concerned about the flash flooding later today, because this area has had up to 600% of their normal rainfall just the last 2 weeks. They are swollen. Those creeks and rivers can't hold anymore. The soil won't be able to handle 2 to 3 inch per hour rainfall rates. We're talking about locally up to 9 inches of rain. High risk days don't happen often. They only account for about 4% of the flash flood risks from the WPC. So it's rare to see this, and we know that it causes deaths and a lot of the dangerous destruction. We also will see hail with some of these storms, and we saw it already in Oklahoma. That was Ponca City, up to softball-size hail. So on top of all that flash flood threat, you also have the damaging winds that are going to blow through from San Angelo and Waco, Austin, just south of Dallas and Fort Worth, over to Lufkin. So a lot going on in Texas and Louisiana.
A lot more ahead here on GMA. We're live in Indiana ahead of Caitlin Clark's home debut with a game-changing coach and some rising stars. And boy, do we have a slam dunk surprise for them.
We've got the exclusive view behind the table. Every day, right after the show, while the topics are still hot, the ladies go deeper into the moments that make the View the View. The Views Behind the Table podcast. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, I'm Andy Mitchell, a New York Times bestselling author.
And I'm Sabrina Kohlberg, a morning television producer. We're moms of toddlers and best friends of 20 years.
And we both love to talk about being parents, yes, but also pop culture.
So we're combining our two interests by talking to celebrities, writers, and fellow scholars of TV and movies.
Cinema, really.
About what we all can learn from the fictional moms we love to watch.
From ABC Audio and Good Morning America, Pop Culture Moms is out now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Final lot of headlines right now. President Biden and former President Trump have agreed to 2 debates. Their first face-off will be June 27th before the conventions. Second one will be September right here on ABC, just weeks before voters head to the polls on Election Day. Also right now, another American was arrested in Turks and Caicos. A woman who was traveling with her daughter for Mother's Day is in custody for possession of ammunition. Now Senator Rick Scott is calling on the State Department to update its travel advisory and demands they help bring these Americans home from the Turks and Caicos. This is the 5th American arrested this year alone for unlawful possession of ammunition.
Also right now, Pfizer has reportedly agreed to pay up to $250 million to settle more than 10,000 U.S. lawsuits over cancer risks associated with the discontinued heartburn drug Zantac. And the Boston Celtics are headed to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 3rd year in a row. They beat the Cavaliers in 5 games and will face the winner of the Knicks-Pacers series. And in the West, Dallas is 1 game away from advancing. Luka Doncic led the way over Oklahoma City with a triple-double. That's like just another day in the park for you, Robin. Dallas returns home looking to close out the series.
He is a beast.
He is unstoppable, yes. And we've got a lot more ahead, including why not everyone is loving the $5 value meal from McDonald's. That is coming up.
But right now we have an ABC News exclusive. Michael, we know that you sat down with Olivia Munn.
Yeah, I sat down with Olivia. It's her first on-camera interview since revealing her most recent surgeries and her breast cancer battle. We discussed everything from treatment to fertility to her hopes for the future. And she wants to share her story to help others.
You never know what's going on in someone's life. Mm-hmm. You know, that privately people are battling things that you'd never know.
Actress Olivia Munn opening up about the private health battle she's been fighting after an unexpected breast cancer diagnosis last year.
Clear mammogram, clear ultrasound, genetic testing. Mm-hmm. I have 0 chance of having any cancer genetically. Then my doctor said, there is this lifetime risk assessment test, and I took it for you, and you're at 37.3%, which puts me into the high risk. And she said, I want you to go get an MRI. And that's when they said, well, we found something.
And when you heard the word cancer, what went through your mind?
I mean, honestly, I just thought of my baby. Your cancer is that's the word you don't want to hear. There's a lot of other things that you feel like you can beat, but you know, cancer takes down a lot of people. And I just thought about my baby.
Last April, Munn was diagnosed with stage 1 of the aggressive luminal B breast cancer in both breasts. And what did they explain to you about your prognosis?
They said that if I was extremely aggressive, that I could fight this and win. But at the same time, once they started finding all of these little spots in my breast, like, oh, there's another tumor, there was such an urgency to it because we had to get in and make some really big decisions.
Munn getting a double mastectomy just 30 days after receiving the diagnosis. In March, the 43-year-old decided to open up about her experience on social media.
Do it for him, do it for your baby.
Including this raw moment right before she went into surgery.
I'm ready.
How did you know you were ready?
I didn't. I just had to say it. You know, sometimes you just say it and hope that your body will go with it.
Why did you want to document this journey that you're on right now?
Well, because if I didn't make it, I wanted my son, when he got older, to know that I fought to be here, that I tried my best.
You're gonna make me cry.
You want the people in your life, you want the people that maybe don't understand what's going on right now to know that, like, you did everything you could to be here.
Munn shared the 2.5-year-old son, Malcolm, with her partner, comedian John Mulaney. And how has it been having John there to support you?
I mean, he's honestly just the best human being. He comes to everything in life with so much compassion and understanding. But the one problem is that he makes me laugh so much that I'm like, there's times I'm like, you have to leave the room.
Well,
like, this is insane.
When you're with the funny man,
I
mean, he's a funny guy.
I know. And I just say, leave the room. You have to leave. And I was just, you're going to make me angry now because I'm going to, literally pop a stitch. It's going to hurt.
Because of the potential impacts of cancer treatment on her future fertility, she decided to undergo egg retrieval, something Munn had done twice before in her 30s.
John and I had a long talk about it. We realized that we weren't done growing our family. So right after the double mastectomy, I went through a round of egg retrieval. And that's a scary process because I have a cancer that feeds off of hormones. So I knew there was a risk. And our doctor said, look, we're going to get one for you, and then we're going to call it. And then our doctor called, and he said, hey, we got the results back. It's 2 healthy embryos. And we just started bawling, crying, both of us.
And have you ever thought about, that far ahead about what the future of your family looks like?
We really just hope that it works out for us to be able to have another baby. We just want one more. I'm not going to ask for too much more in this life, I promise. I just want one more baby.
Because luminal B is a hormone-positive type of breast cancer, Munn's treatment involves suppressing production of the hormones that cause it to grow, putting her body into medically induced menopause.
The hormone suppression therapy is brutal, and it gave me next-level debilitating exhaustion. I was just in bed all day long. My quality of life was so minimal, and I wasn't able to be there for my baby.
Did he notice a change?
Yeah. I mean, whenever Malcolm would come into the home, he'd run straight to my bed because that's where he knows I am. Like, that's what he associated with me, and that was just too difficult for me to take. I had to find out if there was another option, so I opted to do the hysterectomy with the ovarectomy. And almost immediately after that, my energy just came back full force.
Soon, Munn says her doctor wants her to start another drug that will stop her body from producing the cancer-growing hormones elsewhere in the body.
I have been so aggressive. I did everything they told me to do. I did all the big surgeries. And now I'm saying, do I have to do this extra drug?
After all the steps you've taken, why do you think that was the one thing you questioned?
It's so tiring. It's so tired. These drugs are so tiring, and I know that I'm going to stay aggressive. I know I'm going to do it. I'm just surprised that I'm even asking for anything less than aggressive because, I mean, as you know, it just feels nonstop.
It feels nonstop.
Because it is nonstop.
And going through all of this, have you learned anything new about yourself?
I've learned that I'm a lot braver than I thought I was. And I learned that the most important thing to me in life is my family. Everything else can go away. I don't have my career, I don't have my body the way that it looked before, but as long as the people that I love and care about are here and healthy and thriving, nothing else matters.
Mama. Mama.
And Olivia is amazing. She is a fighter, and she says she hopes that sharing her story will help other women feel empowered to ask their doctors about having a risk assessment done. Olivia's doctor told her that she uses it on all of her patients because genetics and screening don't fully capture a woman's risk of getting breast cancer. The score takes into account factors like weight, family history, and the age you had your first child. And of course, you always want to make sure you go over the results with the healthcare provider, Robin.
That message from her is definitely going to help countless people. And you know firsthand, it's not easy to share and be as open as she has been, but she's gotten support, and she talked to you about that role it's played?
She's gotten so much support, and it goes to show how important the support is, because she was fighting this battle alone, like not alone, but privately with her family. But since sharing her story, she says the support from the public, it puts a smile on her face. And she gave me something that was so inspirational. She told me that the whole experience, it has made her be kinder to herself. She said, all the things I regretted, all the other, I let it go, and I'm just kinder to myself. And she's taken everything, day, minute, second at a time, just enjoying life as hard as she can.
It is. Thank you for sharing your conversation with her.
Well, thank Olivia for sharing it with me and everyone else.
And everyone can see it on Nightline tonight as well?
Yes. Great. Yes, they can.
Coming up next, how this family got away after coming within feet of a cougar in their backyard. Lara has joined us here at the desk with a story about a cougar.
Yeah, exactly, George. So imagine that you are just hanging out in your backyard with your pets on a lovely spring day when suddenly a cougar appears. That is what happened to one family in Monroe, Washington, and their home surveillance camera captured the whole thing.
There's so many things going on. I had to watch it over and over.
This morning, the moment a cougar comes face to face with a family's cat and their 2-month-old puppy, all captured on camera.
I think it was just as shocked by seeing us as we were shocked by seeing it.
The cougar first spotted sprinting across the Havener family's backyard, giving the family the scare of a lifetime.
It took me a few seconds to realize this is very large. It's a cougar.
Venturing just 2 feet from mom, April, and her young daughter, the duo scooping up their new puppy and running towards the house.
Like it wanted to have a snack. So that's what it looked like for just a second.
With no tasty treats left outside, the cougar fleeing the scene.
It was streaking away. All I saw was it didn't have anything in its mouth. Everyone was okay.
We live to tell the tale, and we have a really cool video to show for it.
Yeah, they do. The dad, Greg, says the family's now in high alert. They'll be extra careful in case the cougar decides to return. Wildlife officials say cougars do tend to get scared off once they realize that they are too close to humans. So good news, they don't want to be near us either. It's mutual.
They're scared of us?
Yeah, apparently. And they say don't run, that you are supposed to do the same thing as bears. Get big, get loud.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
In the moment, you don't know what's going to happen.
That's it. All right, Lara, thank you for bringing that to us. Coming up later, Game of Thrones actress Sophie Turner not holding back, speaking about what she calls some of the worst days of her life, talking about mom guilt, dating, Joe Jonas, and more. And next, it is our Play of the Day. Come on back. We asked Lara to stick around for our Play of the Day.
Yes, thank you very much for allowing me to stay. I'm going to talk about the graduates at Washington University in St. Louis. They got a real treat when Emmy award-winning actress Jennifer Coolidge gave the commencement address, taking a page from her beloved character Tanya from White Lotus. She told the students as they embark on their journey into the real world to embrace the weirdness. Take a look.
I stand before you as a weird person. Get to know yourself, accept who you are, and love that person, because this is the moment. You already are everything you need to be. Class of 2024.
Jennifer also shared stories about her journey, saying she had a devastating rejection from Saturday Night Live on her path to self-acceptance that eventually landed her a string of unforgettable roles. And she told the graduates, quote, people wanted the real me, and people want the real you.
Really directing remarks
yes.
to the students like
yep,
that.
exactly, as it should be.
Married moms in the suburbs. They've been called soccer moms. They've been called security moms.
Pamela Wilk is a so-called soccer mom.
Those so-called Walmart moms.
She calls herself a hockey mom.
I love those hockey moms.
The hockey mom trying to connect with the soccer moms.
In the 1990s, the idea of soccer moms as the quintessential swing voter took hold. Elections could be won or lost based on a candidate's ability to appeal to them. But were quote-unquote soccer moms actually the deciding factor? In a new series on the 538 Politics podcast, we take a look back at conventional wisdom from past elections with a critical lens. Where did that wisdom come from, and does it hold up today? Find the Campaign Throwback series in the 538 Politics feed wherever you get your podcasts.
People who disappear without a trace.
Where is she?
The most notorious murder cases in New York.
Pure evil.
And the most devious killers.
There's a Hannibal Lecter feel to him.
For chilling true crime stories, follow the True Crime NYC podcast wherever you listen.
We have a look at the top stories right now, breaking at 8, starting with our exclusive interview with Ukraine's President Zelenskyy. Let's go back to our foreign correspondent, James Longman. Good morning to you again, James.
Yeah, good morning again, Robin. Russian strikes hit Kharkiv almost every day. It had been successfully defended. Life was slowly creeping back to normal, but now Russian troops are bearing down on this city, and it's amid that danger that President Zelenskyy visited here. Yes, to boost morale, but also to sound the alarm.
This morning, President Zelenskyy speaks exclusively to ABC News in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city. More than 1 million people now directly threatened by Russia's advance. The situation is so serious, he had to cancel a foreign trip to rush here, despite the danger. We join him as he visits some of the men injured in a desperate effort to protect the city, awarding them medals of valor.
During these days, 500 persons have been wounded. They're soldiers, but mostly they are from this region, and for me it's very important to support them.
How serious is the situation right now?
It's difficult, it's serious, so brigades are not totally equipped because of the package which we waited through 8 months.
The president repeats his thanks to the United States for aid, but there's a sense of frustration about its delay, and specifically the air defenses needed to keep Kharkiv safe.
Really, if we are speaking about this region, Russia can't occupy this if, for example, 2 Patriots will stay in this region, just 2 systems.
And you're frustrated that you make these requests and there's the words, but you don't feel that they're the actions, maybe?
Now it's looking like more that very important dialogue.
Now, President Zelenskyy is asking for support for his country, but Vladimir Putin is in China today, shoring up support for his war. This is truly a conflict of global consequences, and it will have a bearing on November's election. George?
Thank you, James. The economy now in frustration over rising prices in the fast food industry. McDonald's is responding, but not everyone's satisfied. Elizabeth Schultze has the story. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, George. That's right. Not everyone is loving this new $5 meal promo from McDonald's, and that's because it's going to come with a big catch that it's only available for 1 month. The Wall Street Journal reports that this $5 value meal will include a choice of either a McChicken or McDouble, 4-piece chicken nuggets, plus a small fries and a drink. It's going to be offered at select locations starting June 25th. McDonald's says that it's been laser focused on affordability. It understands the need to offer meaningful value to its customers. And we have seen that consumers have been outraged over price hikes at many fast food restaurants. The government's new inflation report shows that the cost of going out to eat actually went up again last month. It's up about 4% just in the past year. In good news, the cost of groceries overall did go down last month, including for some staples like eggs, milk, chicken, and fruits and vegetables. Many are now hoping that McDonald's might extend that promo beyond 1 month to appeal to those deal-hungry consumers. Michael.
Yeah, I'm sure they hope it goes as long as it possibly can. Elizabeth, thank you so much for that. And now we're going to turn to Uber. The rideshare company announcing a brand new way for customers to travel. And our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, has some of the details you'll hear first on GMA. Good Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Michael. And we were just talking about McDonald's. Well, the same thing applies here to Uber. Consumers are pulling back on spending because of inflation. And this is a new way that Uber is hoping to attract new customers, making it cheaper to get to and from the airport, a concert, or a game. The new Uber shuttle will let you reserve up to 5 seats. It'll cost a fraction of the price of an Uber X, according to the company, and it won't be impacted by surge pricing. You can book up to 7 days in advance, and the vehicle that takes you there will hold between 14 and 55 people. They're partnering with some local shuttle services with commercially licensed drivers to make all of this possible. It's going to launch in Miami, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Charlotte this summer, and the company hopes to expand it more in the future. And right now, Uber is sharing exclusively with GMA that the concert shuttle planned for Miami this summer will cost $15 to $25 a seat. That is a fraction of the cost of a regular Uber during a big event, guys. And you can tip and rate in the app.
All right. That's a great idea, though. I mean, it's expensive sometimes to go back and forth with concerts. Thank you so much for that. And coming up in our GMA Morning Menu, Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner speaking for the first time about her divorce from Joe Jonas, mom guilt, and more.
Also had David Beckham here. He's talking about his soccer team, his docu-series, a whole lot more.
And Lori B. is in Indianapolis with Freddie Fever and some inspiring young basketball players counting down to Caitlin Clark's home debut tonight. And we've got a big surprise for them. And Lara, I know you're with Tori.
And I would not miss this, Robin, because we have deals and steals this morning on skincare. This is the day, everyone, where you can look and feel your best, starting at just $3. I don't know how she does it, but she does. So stay with us on Good Morning America.
We are back now with our GMA cover story. Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner speaking to British Vogue about her divorce from Joe Jonas and how she's moving forward. Eva Pilgrim has more for us. Good morning to you, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. Sophie Turner is being really candid about the last year, admitting it has been hard for her. She says her family and friends really stepped in to help her, calling Taylor Swift her hero. Between her divorce, the mom guilt, and working, she says she finally feels like she's in a much better place.
Sophie Turner opening up on the Run Through with Vogue podcast about her very public split from Joe Jonas.
Certainly very glad I shot Joan right before and during all that rubbish went down because I think she gave me a lot of strength. I do.
In 2023, while Turner was in the UK shooting the miniseries Joan, Jonas filed for divorce.
I think there were moments on set that she was in pieces. You know, if you can imagine, she was away from her children. I think it took a lot for her to hold it together.
The split fueling headline after headline. Turner telling British Vogue, those were the worst few days of my life. Cameras capturing Turner's every move, some critical of the mom of two for going out.
I try and not be a mother in the public eye as much as possible. You get like the mum shaming, which we're talking about, where it's like, well, she's never seen with her children. That's the whole point, is so that they're not seen.
Turner says her friend Taylor Swift was a hero to her during that time. I've never been more grateful to anyone than I am for her because she took my children and me and provided us with a home and a safe space. She really has a heart of gold.
You're the strongest person I know.
The Game of Thrones actress met Jonas in 2016, the two marrying in a Vegas wedding in 2019. Then, just 4 years later, going their separate ways. Now, living in the UK, Turner says she's the happiest she's been. She's back dating and says Jonas and her are finding their way co-parenting. I'm confident that we can figure it out. Joe is a great father to our children, and that's all I can ask for. I just want the girls to feel loved and have everyone show up for them.
I think she's done a lot of work on herself, and that shows. You know, she has this fluency when it comes to talking about her emotional life and her feelings.
British Vogue is on newsstands May 21st, and you can hear more of Turner on the new episode of the podcast, The Run Through with Vogue, which is out today, guys.
All right, Eva, thank you so much for that. Now, let's welcome one of the most famous athletes in the world and co-owner of Enter Miami to Times Square. Please welcome David Beckham to GMA. Good to see you, man.
Hi.
I thought he was going to trip me.
I know. It's okay.
Great to see you, Dave.
Oh.
So happy to see you.
Good to see you too.
You thought I was going to trip him.
I did.
If we were playing soccer, I would, because that'd be the only time I have a chance.
I don't need the legs as much anymore.
We got to say, well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I enter Miami. It has such an impact. It's just been an incredible juggernaut.
Yeah.
And congratulations to you on that. So how has it been for you to go from player to team owner?
It's been incredible. Firstly, thank you for having me on. It's been incredible, to obviously go from being an athlete then to owning a team. Obviously, it's a whole different feeling because when you're an athlete, you can do something about if you're losing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're an owner, you're just sat there getting frustrated at times. But in all honesty, to have built the club up to what it is now, to go through all the obstacles that I had, to then look on the pitch now and see Leo. Ooh. It's just an incredible thing. And I always said that bringing Leo to America wasn't just for Miami. It was for America and for the league and for the sport. And that's what I really planned on doing, to inspire the next generation of kids that can now come to any stadium around America and Canada and watch a talent like him and the other talents that we've got in the team.
Like you said, Leo Messi. Oh my God, he is just one of the great. Could you have anticipated the impact that he's been able to have?
Well, I think I always knew that bringing someone like Leo to Miami and to America would be a huge impact. But I think obviously what he's done on the field and what he continues to do off the field as well. It's not just about obviously winning trophies, which he's still hungry to do. He wants the academy kids to get better. He wants to meet every young kid when he travels around America, and that's the type of person he is. So it's been incredible, but more than what I ever hoped.
Wonderful.
Your docuseries was so engaging. Our whole family watched. It was just fantastic. I imagine you've been approached many times before. What made you do it this time?
Well, to be honest, when I retired, I actually wasn't ready to do it. People wanted me to do it, but it wasn't something that I wanted to jump into straight away. But then after time, I kind of looked towards my 10-year anniversary of retirement, and I thought maybe this is the right time to do it. So. But the only reason I did it was kind of a love letter to my career and the sport, and also more importantly my family. Right. My family have been such an incredible support system throughout my whole life and my whole career. To have all of that archive and all of that footage in one place, literally I could go, there you go, and that really was the only reason to do it.
You and Victoria have built a beautiful, beautiful family.
Yeah. Oh. And it was so lovely to see that. And you were very open, sharing your home and your children. How were they with the process?
Well, I think we were all nervous going into it because, we are, even though, we've been pictured all over the world and people know most places who we are, to let people into our home. But I also said that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right, and I'm only going to do it once. So everyone got on board, and the one funny thing was we watched the premiere, and as we're driving back to the house, my youngest son Cruz turned around to me and said, "Dad," he said, "you were really good. I didn't know you."
Fisher Stephen is a brilliant director.
He's a brilliant director, and it took us a while to find the right director, but with Fisher, he's so great. He made me feel so uncomfortable that I actually felt at ease, sharing, and that was a big thing for me. So, the whole of the team at Netflix, my studio team, and Fisher did an incredible job, and I think we look back on it now and we're very proud of it.
You should be. I couldn't stop until it was over, and I wanted more, by the way.
Home base is now London, but I know that you lived in the States. You lived in LA for a while. What do you miss most about being here?
Well, I spend a lot of time here, obviously, in Miami and different parts of the US, but I miss actually everything about living in America. When I was a young kid, I'm from the East End of London. I always loved American sports, and I always wanted to live in America. I always saw America as a place where people are so positive, people are so engaging, and you believe that you can achieve anything. And when I moved to America, it was the best 6 years, for our children to grow up here, for us to be welcomed with open arms. It really was like amazing. And I miss everything about living in America.
And I got to ask you about this video. We got this video. I want you to check it out. You're enjoying it impromptu Spice Girl reunion.
Look at that face.
Look, they're showing off their favorite choreography.
So
I think we've all tried that before.
Yeah.
Tell us about that night.
Well, the funny thing was, nobody could get the Spice Girls back together. So I kind of created a 50-year, 50th birthday for my wife, and that's reason. No, but I, on the lead up to Victoria's birthday, we did this party, and my idea was to kind of create the Spice Girls Mama video with my own family and the kids. So we did that, and Cruz played the guitar up there to Mama, and then all of a sudden all the girls got up, and I was like, I'm the biggest Spice Girls fan, obviously. So all of a sudden all the Spice Girls are up, and I'm like, oh my God. So I was like, okay, to everybody around the world, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm pretty sure the kids now go, Mom and Dad were both really good. Hey, David, always great to see you. Thank you for being here. And Beckham is available to stream on Netflix. Do yourself a favor and check that out. It's really, really good. Now we're going to go to you, Ginger.
Thanks, Michael. This video is from the highway around Oahu. They've seen some flash flooding already this week with up to 3 inches of rain falling really quickly. And this morning, it started again. Waikiki Beach showing us a very showery picture. And they're going to see that through the next couple days. We've got flood watches until Friday, thanks to that Kona low that's kind of dragging the front right across them. Big time winds on the Big Island. Kauai will get into it late this week, too.
It's time, everybody. Tori Johnson is joining now for Deals and Steals Skincare Biggies. Good morning, Tori. I want to get right to it because you have so many clinically proven to make a difference.
Favorites, GMA favorites. So we're starting with the #1 selling neck cream, Neck and Deck. It's from Strivectin. So this does literally everything. We've got the jumbo size today, which I'm really excited about. So if you're concerned about slack, sagging, kind of any of those issues in the neck area, this is the one for you. If you prefer to do it with a roller, or you want to go sort of like in extra, this is an awesome one for the jawline. That's a really great one. Tighten and Lift Peptide, it's called, for the jawline. Pretty fabulous. Everything from Strivectin today, 50% off plus free shipping. Can't beat that.
I'm not only a fan, I'm wearing it now.
You made a beeline to Laura Geller Beauty. I know that you love it. I saw you already typing on your phone to start adding to cart.
Best eyeliners ever.
Best eyeliners, but we also have a couple of others that people really love. So this is the color correcting foundation.
That's my sister's favorite.
Yeah, and what's awesome about this is that it's the ease of a powder, but you get then kind of the beauty of a cream, and it's it's easy to blend.
But it's not heavy.
And exactly. Blurs all the imperfections, just have a gorgeous glow. And then if you really want to amp up that glow, you use the blushes, which we know Brooke loves the blushes too.
Yes.
The blushes, the eyes. I mean, we love all of Laura Geller, and so do you guys. Good day to stock up. 50% off starts at $4.
Yes, please.
Okay, Paracone. Introducing brand new to correct, prevent, and protect against sun damage. This one right here.
Oh,
that's Cold Plasma Plus Daily Defense Moisturizer with broad spectrum SPF. So as we're getting into summer, but it's important all year round, it's an easy, you get 2-in-1. You get your phenomenal moisturizer that has all the skin benefits plus your SPF built in. We also have their advanced eye cream. I know this one's going to be a favorite around here too. And same kind of treatment for hands as well, because kind of that crepey thin skin needs its special love too, and Paracone's got us covered. Everything 50% off today, plus free shipping from Paracone.
Free shipping?
Yes. Okay,
All right, let's talk.
So sometimes you've got hair that you just don't want, and that's where Flamingo comes in. So we've got all of their favorites. We've got their disposable dermaplane razor. This one's awesome for face and peach fuzz. We've got their 5-blade razor. They are really known for this one. Feel how good this just feels in your hand. It's like feels great in your hand.
It's like a magic wand, Tori.
It's super sharp. It's fabulous.
And it has a little holder.
It has a holder for the shower that you can suction it to the side in the shower. And then we've got the body hair removal cream. This one's great as well. Lasts for up to like 6 days if you use that. Great for legs. All of these $3 to $7 with our 50%
oh my gosh,
off.
I'm going to get busy
All right,
on this.
Mario Badescu, one of
Great
the
product.
most beloved skincare lines at, I think, an incredibly accessible price.
Yep.
I have been a fan forever of this, their drying lotion.
Yep.
This is my overnight zit zapper. It's a little pink powder that just, it's like a potion that is magical.
really
this one's
is.
fabulous. Plus, they're really like the OG facial mist. Smell this one. Give a little
I use it. I don't need to smell it because I use it every day.
That has like this rose that is
so
just
good.
delightful. Everything from Mario Badescu. Can't go wrong with them. $7 to $22. Really phenomenal deal on all of it. And then finally, Beauty Stat. This is a cosmetic chemist founded skincare line. We've got their brand new, this one here, peptide wrinkle relaxing moisturizer, firms, lifts, smooths. And then what they're really also known for that they launched their Universal C Skin Refiner. This is awesome for exfoliating. It also comes with SPF. Everything from Beauty Stat, 50% off and free shipping.
Yeah. Wow, this is like it's too good to be true. Thank you so much, Tori. And thank you to the companies on the great deals. They're incredible. So do check out our website. And coming up, we're celebrating 30 years of Disney on Broadway and a very special performance like you've never seen on Good Morning America. Stay with us.
The first ever criminal trial of a former president is underway in Manhattan. It's one of potentially 4 trials facing former President Trump as he makes his third bid for the White House. What do voters think about his culpability, and would a guilty verdict make a difference in the election? I'm Galen Druk, and every Monday and Thursday on the 538 Politics podcast, we break down the latest news from the campaign trail. We sort through the noise and zoom in on what really matters, using data and research as we go. That's 538 Politics every Monday and Thursday, wherever you get your podcasts.
Football fans, I want you to get excited. The schedule is out for the 2024 season, and we want to highlight some of the exciting matchups on Monday Night Football. The Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs appear twice, taking on the Saints in Week 5 and the Bucks in Week 9. And then the Cowboys also host 2 games, the Battle of Texas in Week 11 and taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 14. Can't wait for kickoff.
And we will be right back.
Indiana is anticipating Caitlin Clark's home debut tonight. We're going to go live to Indianapolis in a moment, but first, a look at how the WNBA is inspiring a new generation of basketball stars. This morning, the Indiana Fever red hot here in Indianapolis. The hype for the WNBA team hitting a fever pitch as the city gets ready to welcome Caitlin Clark on home court.
She's a generational talent.
Indianapolis artist Quasar Martin spray painting a tribute to the NCAA record setter with this super-sized mural.
I knew we had the #1 pick, and as soon as she made herself eligible for the draft, I started working on the mural.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
At the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, nearly 6,000 fans erupted in cheers during the Fever's watch party. In the crowd that night, team members of the Lady Blackout.
It was super excited. I kept on shouting, "We love Caitlin."
Bringing in a top player like that to just put the shine a light on everybody, give everybody the opportunity to show off their talents.
The Lady Blackout players, grades 2nd to 8th, embrace their skills, tricks, and fierce athleticism.
Whenever I hear this saying, "You play like a girl," I take that as a compliment. We play well and we win a lot of games.
The program led by father of 3 Damone Eubank, who created the Youth Basketball League in Indianapolis 4 years ago.
Quick. We got 7 kids, and 7 kids turned into 50, and 50 turned into 100, and just kept growing from there. You know, it literally feels like a huge family.
Coach Damone going above and beyond and often out of pocket to ensure his players' success.
We sponsored 100+ kids play basketball for free. So if it costs, a couple hundred, couple thousand to keep the kids off the street, keep them playing, we're willing to do that.
He's able to arrange multiple gyms for multiple teams every night of the week. He's also there to support the kids.
As the young athletes shoot for the stars on and off the court. We want to go live to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, home of the Fever, to meet some of those young players. Our lifestyle contributor, Lori Bergamatto, is there with Freddie Fever, the mascot, and some special guests. Oh, Coach Damone, thank you, you and your Lady Blackout players. I know that Your mother and your coaches inspired you. And now you and your wife, Taylor, are doing the same, Coach, for the youth there. How satisfying is that for you?
Keep going.
It's very satisfying just to see what basketball has done for me. And it's literally full circle. Knowing that basketball, put me through college, put my brothers through college. It's just amazing to see my community be able to do the same thing, and Blackout being able to be that platform to send these girls off to college. So we're going to keep at it.
Yeah, full circle indeed. And Lori, how's your morning going, being with everybody there?
Oh, Robin, my morning is fantastic. These ladies have been giving me some tips, which I desperately need, and they're such a great group of girls. Damone really runs an incredible program here, so thank you to Damone. This segment is sponsored by Invisalign, which is spotlighting women's sports around the world. Now, Kamal Bandal, who is the Vice President of Global Brand and Consumer Marketing from Invisalign, heard about your program and is here and wants to celebrate what you do. So come on over here, Kamal. Why was it so important for you to be here today?
The Invisalign brand is partnering with Overtime to launch Team Invisalign, spotlighting some of the top high school women's basketball and soccer players from around the world. And using their Invisalign aligners, they'll share their impactful stories and will then amplify their voices across social media. We both believe in empowering teenagers to feel their most confident self, which is why we're excited to partner together. We're empowering some of the top female athletes around the world by giving them a smile that they can feel their best self in. And today we're also excited to spotlight another group of female athletes with Lady Blackout.
That's right, incredible. Now, Kamal, I understand Invisalign has something really special for the Lady Blackout. Can you tell us what that is?
The Invisalign brand is donating $25,000.
Damone is surprised.
That's amazing. We appreciate that.
Now, Damone,
we appreciate that.
Tell us, what will a donation like this mean to the Lady Blackout?
Oh, my goodness. It will mean so much. Just being able to keep these girls in the gym, working on their craft, doing what they love to do. I mean, it'll really go a long way. Tournaments, gym time. Man, that's amazing. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Damone definitely appreciates it, and definitely is surprised. Thank you so much, Robin.
But wait, Lori B., you know there's more. Coach, you have been instilling the love of sports and team spirit in the kids you coach. So the Fever, they wanted to give you all something special too, right, Lori?
Oh, Robin,
wow.
You know we have something else up our sleeve. So you guys, not only do we get this donation, but ladies, you guys are going to tonight's Indiana Fever.
That is dope.
I was going to ask them what they thought about that, but I think they're all really happy, Robin. Thank you so much to Invisalign. Thank you so much to Invisalign for supporting female athletes around the world. And thanks to the Indiana Fever for giving the Lady Blackout tickets to tonight's game. Robin, I have caught the fever. Let me tell you. So I'm going to throw it back to you guys in New York.
Oh, that is, I love that mascot, Freddie the Fever, and that team and everyone. I mean, the $25,000. But when they got the tickets to tonight's game,
Right.
that's what
It's like the money's cool, but
whoa! That is a hard ticket to come by. We thank you all very much for watching. Have a great day, everybody.
married moms in the suburbs. They've been called soccer moms. They've been called security moms.
Pamela Wilk is a so-called soccer mom.
Those so-called Walmart moms.
She calls herself a hockey mom. I love those hockey moms.
The hockey mom trying to connect with the soccer moms.
In the 1990s, the idea of soccer moms as the quintessential swing voter took hold. Elections could be won or lost based on a candidate's ability to appeal to them. But were quote-unquote soccer moms actually the deciding factor? In a new series on the 538 Politics podcast, we take a look back at conventional wisdom from past elections with a critical lens. Where did that wisdom come from, and does it hold up today? Find the Campaign Throwback series in the 538 Politics feed wherever you get your podcasts.